Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay for you all that do not know. And today I'm back with another video, and today we are going to discuss my unpopular opinions. So the first opinion that I have is about the Ring doorbell cameras. Like, I can understand why people have them, but then again, I do not like them. They make me feel like I'm being watched at all times and that I can't do nothing. And the reason why I say that is because not only are people in houses getting those Ring cameras, but people in apartments as well. Like my neighbor that's across from me has a Ring camera, and every time I go in and out of my house, I feel like I'm being watched. Even when I'm just taking the trash out for the valet trash and just putting the trash outside, I still feel like I'm being watched. I do not understand necessarily why everybody needs those Ring cameras. For one, you don't know who's tapping into your Ring camera and who's watching you. So of course, I know some people get those Ring cameras because they do a lot of purchasing online and they have a lot of porch pirates out there, and they want to make sure that their stuff is not getting stolen. So that actually brings me to my next point of my next unpopular opinion is ordering everything online. Since everybody has been ordering online, all of my favorite stores are just like disappearing. There are no more brick and mortar companies. A lot of the brick and mortar companies are closing down because everybody is shopping online now, and it's so much of an overhead. It really makes sense to not necessarily have a brick and mortar business if it has so much overhead. But at the same time, like when you do online, like you get a lot of surprises. For one, if you need to try on clothes, you're not even able to like try it on. You have to buy it, guess your size, and then once it gets to you, then you have to figure out if it works or not. And then you have to take your time to send it back. When I go into the store, I just want to try on my clothes. If it fits, then I'm buying it. If it doesn't fit, then I'm leaving it right there, and I want to leave that right where it was. I remember I worked at a call center for a company. It was like a retail company. I was a customer service for this retail company, and a lot of people used to order clothes, and a lot of times they didn't know what their size was because different designers have different sizes. And I'll just be like, oh, I can help you with that. If you know your measurements, I can tell you the exact measurements for that specific brand and tell you what size you wear. They'll be like, I don't know my measurements and all this stuff. And then so they'll be like, okay, well, I'll just order two. So when they get here, I can see which one works and which one doesn't, and I'll send the one that doesn't work back. I'll be like, okay, it's your money, do however you want to do it. But then I would get customers that would call back and be saying, oh, I want to send these pants back, they don't fit. Okay, you can send it back. They're like, okay, well, why am I being charged a return shipping fee? Because you're returning the item back. A lot of people don't understand that some places charge for you to return the item back. Even if sometimes the item not even enough money where you feel like it's not even worth it to send it back. But they'll be like, well, I already paid a shipping cost. No, you had a shipping cost for you to get to you. You didn't pay a shipping cost for it to get back to us because you decided that you didn't want it anymore. So then you end up having to spend money. So one lady was like, so I'm basically being charged to try on clothes. And I'm just like sitting there like, basically. I mean, I don't have any other word for it. Yeah, you're being charged to try on clothes because once you're not going into the store, they're passing on the cost to you. But some people, they don't seem to get that. They feel like it's not fair. Understandable. But at the end of the day, you spend so much time sending it back. At the end of the day, it's not really even a convenience anymore. It's more like a hassle. So that brings me to my next thing is cashless businesses. A lot of these businesses that are brick and mortar are going cashless. And to tell you the truth, if the company that doesn't accept cash, I just don't like even shopping with them or giving them my money because I feel like it's propaganda. If I'm losing that word right, I feel like the more and more we give into these little bitty small inconveniences, the more and more that we're not gonna have freedom. I don't know about y'all, but years and years ago, I dealt with something with Bank of America where Bank of America has stopped all of my Zelles from coming into my account. And because I was at that time I was self-employed and a lot of my money came from Zelle, they stopped a lot of my money. I couldn't even use my cards. Good thing I had cash to be able to use to the places that do still take cash. But just giving a company that much control and power over your money is a no-no for me. And I'm sorry, I cannot get with that, and I cannot support those companies. The next thing I want to discuss is all of these things online where I'm saying like people are dressing like modest, and dressing modest is not a new thing, especially like with older people. Like they'll try to tell you how to dress, and how you should cover up and how you shouldn't show this and that. Understandable. I don't believe in dressing like a complete hoochie, but who are you to tell me that I can't show a little skin? My thing is, everybody was young once, and they can use that time. They can use that time where they're young to express themselves. Of course, don't be out here naked. Like I'm like completely naked where we can see private parts, but there's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to wear those things that you wanted to wear when you were younger again, because maybe you had a baby, or because your grown woman weight has finally came in and you can't wear those type of things anymore. And you're gonna be, it's gonna be like a silent grief. Like, oh, I never got to do it, and I probably never will get the chance to do it unless you just really just start actually loving your body for what it is. So I just be like, just leave people alone. Do what you want to do and don't bring nobody else into it. As long as it's not affecting anybody, as long as they're not being, nasty and trashy. Okay, so the next thing on my list is sugar-free everything. So I'm used to seeing sugar-free things in the stores, but it's like the things that you don't think is sugar-free, where they use some type of stevia or like some type of sugar alcohol. Now I understand some people have to use sugar-free because of like diabetes or whatever type of sickness they might have, so they have to use sugar-free. But when it's in everything and you can literally taste it and you can taste that aftertaste, it's so nasty. And I know a lot of people love the fact that they can eat all of their favorite foods and it's sugar-free. I'm happy for you, but I just wish it wasn't in so many things. I personally would rather just eat less of something because it has sugar in it than to eat sugar-free because of the taste. It's just the thought of the taste. I'm not even gonna stay on this subject for too long because the thought of that taste is just nasty. So the next thing is having to download apps for everything. Like, why do I need to download an app to order food? Why do I need to download an app to even log into work? I understand having to log into work, but it's just like, not only do I have to have an app to log into work, I have to have multiple apps for work. I have to have apps for food. I have to have apps for shopping. I have to have apps for the grocery store. I have to have apps to check in to go somewhere. Like, why is there so many apps? Like, I can't just sign in as a guest. Because the more storage you use on your phone, the more you gotta pay for that storage. None of that stuff is free. And then with the whole apps on your phone thing for work, I always have a fear that they're like watching me somehow. Or like watching my movements somehow because I have one of their apps on my phone. I wish I could opt out of that completely as well. Now, as far as things that I like businesses that I'm visiting, I'm not downloading no apps. I'm not gonna do it. If that's the case, I'll go somewhere else. It's unnecessary. For the last and final thing, I believe that there should be more laws that comes with dog ownership, because just like I believe that some people shouldn't be parents, I believe that some people should not be dog owners. Some people are just not cut out for it. They think it's a toy, they think it's an accessory, and it's not. When you adopt a pet, you are making a responsible choice to take care of that pet, you to feed that pet, to make sure that pet gets all of the health care that it needs, and make sure that that pet has everything that it needs in this life. It's not something that you should be able to make money off of. It's a living, breathing animal. It has feelings just like we do. I don't care what nobody thinks. They have feelings. And treating them like they're just something that you just added into your life and they're not really a part of your family, I just think it is wrong. And when I see it, it breaks my heart, because that animal didn't ask you to adopt it. At the end of the day, you adopted it because you probably thought it was cute, or you wanted to make some money off of that animal. But that's not how this goes. And I know only some people are gonna understand what I'm saying, because some people, like when you talk about animals, they say it's just an animal. It's a living, breathing creature that God created. And you should see it as such. And I'm just gonna get off of that, because I can get very, very passionate about that subject, because it really pisses me off. But anyways, I thank y'all for coming back to my channel and listening to me talk. If you have an unpopular opinion, I would love if you write it down below and we can talk about it. Until next time, bye.